Good evening. Hello everyone, good evening. How are you today? We're back. Dr. Sunday is back. I'm just holding the seat for him. Hello Rochelle White, good evening. How are you? Hello Darlene, good evening. Good evening everyone. As you're coming in, start to share immediately. Hello Pastor Show. Good evening. Adelaja, good evening. Ola, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Sunday is here and he's going to be taking the teaching. So it's not me. Don't worry. Don't panic. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Pastor Uche. Hello, Ezenwe. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Sunday is here. I'm just warming up the chairs for him. He's just ending his meeting, the one he went before we finished the previous Kingdom Fruits with Pastor Uche. So he will be here any minute from now. It's just in the next room. Hello, Patrick, Oriyomi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. As you are coming in, please start sharing immediately so that more people will be notified that we're back. Amarachi, good evening. Good evening all. Thank you again for joining. Thank you, Haken. How are you? Good evening. Hello for me. Good evening. TY, how are you? Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you all for coming back night after night, day after day. It's really heartwarming. Chioma, good evening. Hello, Anastasia again. Nkiru, good evening. Fumi, good evening. Hello, Dee. How are you? It's been a while. I hope you're okay. Elizabeth, thank you for joining. Please start sharing, guys. Aput, good evening. Funke, good evening. Oriyomi, good evening. Ufoma, good evening. Thank you all for joining. Dr. Sunday is in the house. He's just ending a meeting that I had just as we were finishing Kingdom Fruits earlier. So he's just ending that meeting. He's going to be joining to start this next program, which is The Plague of Silence. And today's title is Truth, My Best Friend. That's really an interesting title. I saw it when I was putting the title up. For me, good evening. Genji Day, good evening. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for inviting people and also sharing on your page. Thank you. Monica, good evening. Delina, how are you? Daniel, again, greetings. Greetings, everyone. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Dr. Sunday is coming. So rather than me repeating that Dr. Sunday is coming and saying thank you, let me just give the announcements now. So we're having a deception movement against deception in the church meeting this Saturday, 1st of July. And it's at 2 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 12 noon UK time. Apologies, I don't know the other Eastern and Western US time. Please check it out yourself if you're in US. So this meeting would be only those that have completed the form and include their email addresses will be invited to this meeting, and those that are in the closed group. So if you're in the closed group and you've completed the form, most importantly, complete the form, because that's where we'll have your address, we'll have your email address. I might put the link into the closed group as well, the link to join the meeting into the closed group as well, because it will be people that are part of the movement that will be in the closed group. So please complete the form. I will ping that form again. I pinged it into previous broadcast, and I also pinged it on Dr. Sunday's page. But you can find the page on its own on Facebook, which is Movement Against Deception in the Church. We have a page and a group. So like the page and join the group so that you will get all the notification that we'll be sending out. So this meeting is on Saturday, the 1st of July, and it's at 2 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 12 noon UK time. Just a word of warning, this meeting is likely to be for hours. The last meeting we had, which was last Friday, midnight here in Ukraine, it ended at 4 a.m. in the morning, and even that was a struggle. Many people were still willing to continue and share their stories of deception in the church and share strategies. So guys, brace yourself. This meeting will go on for a long time, but you will be blessed because you would see the depth of this deception with some of the things that have been shared. So join us, and to join us, you have to complete the form, which would enable us to have your contact details. And when you're writing your contact details down, please make sure that you it's something that we can read, because some of them you might put a dot in the wrong place with email, it wouldn't go through. So be careful when you're writing your email address, so that it would be an email address that we could contact you on, so it wouldn't bounce back when we send you the notification. That's the only thing that's likely to happen. So thank you again. For those that have joined us already, please start to share, so that others can join us. Today's the series is The Plague of Silence, and today's title is The Truth, My Best Friend. Truth, My Best Friend. I'm really interested in this. I'll be listening quietly and soaking the knowledge in, while Dr. Sunday is going to come in a bit, in any minute from now. Actually, I can hear that it's just ending his meeting, so he should be here any minute from now. So let me say hello again. Hello, Pastor Clemens. Hello, Samuel. Hello, and so Dr. Sunday is here. Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm, running on different fronts at the same time. So I just finished an interview with a radio station in America. You would not believe what this bishop who was interviewing me was saying. He said, Pastor, he was interviewing me about my book, my new book, Create Your Own Net Worth. So, after mentioning all the truth in the book, and after asking me questions about the book, net worth, how do you create, what is net worth, what is the net worth, all kind of questions. Well, after that, he said this like 10 times. He said, Pastor Sunday, you are not human. You are not human. You are not a human being. You are just not a human being. You are not human. He said, you are not human. I said, what happened? Nobody thinks like this. I never heard this. Like, nobody talks like this. Nobody thinks like this. So if you have not read that book, actually, there is another guy that says that if you have not read that book, Create Your Own Net Worth, that you are not Pastor Sunday's disciple. That you've got to read that book, because that until you read that book, you don't know Pastor Sunday. That's what somebody else said. So, and so that's the book I went to. I was being interviewed about in America. So, well, I hope some of you have the book already. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. So I said, you are not a human being. You are not human. You are not human. Nobody thinks like this. Nobody talks like this. You are not human. Okay, but I'm human, of course. One of the first evidence that I'm human is that I'm a little bit hungry. I'm a little bit tired also. Then I'm married, I have children, so I'm very human. I have weaknesses, I have faults, I'm fallible, I am not perfect. I have, enough trouble of my own to know that I'm human. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the topic of today is truth, my greatest friend. I don't know if some of you read my articles during the elections, and it was during that time that I was using this phrase a lot. And this phrase is taken from the words of Isaac Newton. From the words of Isaac Newton. So that, yes, truth is my best friend. Truth is my best friend. And, so that should become the watchword for every one of us. We should also, make up our mind that the truth is going to be our best friend. And if you want to live a life that will please God, you must make up that decision that truth is going to be your best friend. It's going to be your best friend. But I like the way Isaac Newton puts it. Let me give you the quotation, the full quotation of what Sir Isaac Newton said. He said, Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, but my greatest friend is truth. Sir Isaac Newton. You want me to say that again? Plato, or some people say Plato, some people say Plato, right? Plato is my friend. Aristotle is my friend. But my greatest friend, the truth, is truth. Plato is my friend. Aristotle is my friend. But my greatest friend is the truth. My greatest friend is truth. My greatest friend is truth. I think all of us must get to a place whereby we now say that and say, no, if we are Christians, that should be your watchword. Actually, Isaac Newton is one of the greatest believers, Christians, that has ever lived. So, by him saying that, that is actually a statement about his faith. Because Jesus said he is the truth. I'm the way, the life, and the truth. So that truth there is referring to Jesus. There is no way you will say the truth is my best friend and you are not a friend of God. Because truth itself is human. The truth itself is God. God himself is the truth. I'm the way, the way, the life, and the truth. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. That is Jesus. Jesus is the truth. So when Isaac Newton says, Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, he's trying to say, there are a lot of things I like in this world. There are a lot of things I'm committed to in this world. But the thing that I'm most committed to is the truth. The thing that I'm most committed to is the truth. So you remember that this week we are examining the topic, the plague of silence. If you are silent, if you prefer to be silent rather than talk over situations that are happening around you or over the things that you know about and over the truth that you know, but you decide to be silent, then the truth is not your friend. The truth is not your best friend. So it doesn't mean that you don't have any other interest in your life. Definitely you have some other interests like Sir Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton had a lot of interest in his life. And one of those major interests is Plato, Aristotle, philosophy, education, self-education, self-development, science. Because he never got married. He was so devoted to science. He was such a hard worker, and he was such a scientist. He was such a committed person that he didn't even see the need to have a wife or to marry, because he wanted to discover God through his creation. So he devoted himself to science. But despite that, he is trying to tell us that there is something that is greater than science. There is something that's greater than philosophy. There is something that is greater than everything else in the world. The love of the truth. Love for the truth. Love of truth. Love of truth and love for truth. There is no greater allegiance any one of us could have in the world. The greatest allegiance we could have is to the truth. So your own personal interest must take the back seat when the truth arrives. That means you must elevate the truth above your preferences. That means you must elevate the truth above your desires. That means that you must elevate the truth above your fears. That means that if you have to choose between the truth and your self-preservation, it is preferable to choose danger and to choose, self-sacrifice than to negotiate with the truth. So, the ultimate allegiance in life, the ultimate dedication in life for every human being must be the truth. And if the truth is your ultimate allegiance, you will not commit the sin of silence. You will not commit the sin, and you will not spread the plague of silence. You will not be part of those people who compromise their standards. You will not compromise with the truth. You will not prefer self-preservation over the truth. Nothing is going to be more important than the truth in your life. Nothing is going to be above the truth in your life. Nothing is going to be much more preferable. Nothing will even come close to the truth. And that's why God said he is the truth. Jesus said he is the truth. He must be above all things in your life. He must be above even your loved ones. The truth must weigh more in your eyes than your love for your loved ones. The truth must weigh much more heavier, much more preferable, much more weighty. Must the truth weigh in your life than all your loves and all your admirations in life. So you cannot say, let's say for example, you have a son, and your son is committing a crime. Or let's say your son, okay, let me tell you a real life situation, okay? I think this happened in one of the European countries. Let's talk about England. I think it happened in England. I don't know, I will not say this is exactly the way the story went, but something like this. Somebody's son went and actually killed somebody, another person's son. So let's say, can you come here, Pastor Natasha? You will stand there so that they could see you. Mm-hmm. Okay, can you? Okay. So let's say Pastor Natasha's son, you have a son, Pastor Natasha, and your son has a friend, and they were fighting in the classroom, and your son happened to kill his friend, but nobody knew about it. Nobody was aware, but because the thing probably happened and in your house or somewhere, so you got to know. So you got to know that your son has killed somebody, another person's son, his classmate. So what will you do as a mother? Well, what most mothers do is, especially since nobody knows. And they say, this other guy has disappeared. He's lost. He's disappeared. Everybody is looking for him. The police are looking for him. Everybody is looking for him. Nobody knows where he is. But you know where he is. Because he's been disposed. The body has been disposed. And you know it is your son that killed him. And the police is coming to you, to your son, to ask, do you know anything? They are going to the people in the classroom or in the school, everywhere in the community to find out who killed, who knows where this guy, where did he go to? No, we use talk. You know, most women will say, because nobody knows, and because he's my son, let's say he's my only son, if I tell the truth, they are going to put my son in jail or in prison. My son is going to be in prison. I'm going to lose my son. So I would rather keep quiet. So what does that mean? That means you love your son above the truth. So when I now say, when I'm using the word, when I use the word that the truth, my greatest friend, now you see how heavy this word is. The truth, my greatest friend. Are you really sure the truth is your greatest friend now? Especially when you are faced with a trying situation like that. Is the truth your greatest friend when you are faced with an option that to give up your son, and nobody knows this? Fight. Inside of a mother.
With truth.
With truth.
Love to my son.
Or love for the truth.
Yeah.
Either love for the truth or love for my son. So that's why I'm saying truth, my greatest friend. So for you to be a Christian, for you to say you are really born again, for you to say that Jesus Christ is your Lord, for you to really say you belong to Christ, you belong to Jesus, there must be a time, you must get to a point in your life where you say, my only allegiance, or my number one allegiance, is going to be the truth. You must make an informed decision. You must come to the place whereby you tell yourself that in every situation, nothing stands over and above the truth. I know I love people. I know I love myself. I know there are a lot of things that I love in life. But the truth must become my greatest friend. The truth must become my best friend. What is the test of your faith? The test of your faith in God is in your allegiance to the truth. Because God is the truth. And your commitment to the truth above all else is what determines what is your Lord. A lot of Christians will say Jesus is our Lord. We don't have any idea. The only test of the lordship of the lordship of your life, the only test of the lordship of your life is in your commitment to the truth, or in your inability or failure to commit to the truth. How much you come for you to test yourself, how you stand before God, is the only test. The simplest test of your commitment to God is only determined by one factor: the truth factor. Can you look yourself in the mirror? Because the truth is your conscience. God knows, He lives in your conscience. God knows, and you know the truth. You know the truth. You cannot hide from the truth. The truth is inside of you, is outside of you, is all over you. So, but to live a life that is committed to the truth, that makes the truth and elevates the truth above all things, is to be a Christian, even if you don't go to church. A real Christian is determined not by the gymnastics that we perform in the church or the religiosity that we carry out on daily basis, but on our own daily personal commitment to the truth. How much is the truth ruling over my decisions? How much of the truth is ruling over my heart? How much is the truth ruling and dominating me? How much is the truth guiding me? How much is the truth commanding, and being the Lord over my actions and over my daily decisions and daily reactions and daily attitude to life? The truth must be absolute. So it is when situations like this come, like with your son that has killed somebody, and now you begin. In fact, if you just said something now, Pastor Natasha. You said there is a fight between your heart, and the truth.
Yes.
Love for son, or love for truth.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you, the longer the fight is, the farther you are from the truth. But if you are really close to the truth, that fight won't be for long. If you are married to the truth, if the truth is absolute over your life, if the truth is your greatest friend,
My decision will be more quickly
it will be more quickly.
to truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your decision will not be long. Your deliberations will not be far, will not be long. You will be quick to know the truth. It will be easy for you to take the decision. You will know the decision to take easily. And your allegiance, your faithfulness, your commitment will be with the truth. You will always go with the truth.
Great lesson for us.
Great lesson.
Yeah.
Let me give you another example. You are living in another country and you don't have papers. Then you needed to go for the interview and you stand a good chance to get your papers, but you needed to tell a lie. Little lie, small lie. Just a little lie. And nobody will know that you have told a lie. Maybe you needed to tell a lie that you came to the country at another date than you actually came. Maybe you needed to tell a lie that you used the right passport or the wrong passport. Maybe you needed to tell a lie that you've not worked before in the country, but you have worked. Maybe you needed to tell a lie that you had not overstayed, but you had overstayed. And you know, if you tell the lie, all your prayers and all your years of waiting, you've waited for 15 years to get this document. If you tell the truth, they are going to send you back to your country. Everything you waited for, you are going to lose. Are you sure the truth will still be your best friend? You see, these are the real test of knowing how much a Christian we are. It is the moment of decision that really tells you if you are a Christian or you are not a Christian. And you don't need to be a Christian. You just need to be a human being to be committed to the truth above everything else. So, and you cannot believe it, how many Christians are taking the wrong decision every day. Every day, millions of Christians are lying, telling a lie that which is not true, just to be able to get some benefit for themselves. A lot of Christians are just telling lies because they think that if they tell a lie, nobody will know, which is true, nobody might know. But they think that it's not important. That because nobody will know, number one. Number two, they will get what they need. So some people think that what they base their decision, what they use to base their decision, how to answer the question at the immigration is it good for me? Is it beneficial for me? Or is going to spoil my chance? Is not good for me. That is what many people use as the basis for their decision. But that should never be the basis for your decision. For every one of us, in every issues of life, the only base or basis for our decision, for taking any decision, should be one thing: the truth. Even if you are not a Christian, you are a Christian or you are not a Christian, the truth should be the only basis for all your decisions. So your answer should be, how much is my answer going to line up with the truth or not? Now, there are situations like Jesus, for example. That you don't need to speak the truth. There are situations that you don't need to speak the truth. But you also don't need to lie. For example, when Jesus was asked, did you say that if you put that, you will put that temple down in 3 days and you will build it back up again? Jesus said that. But that is not what they were referring to is not what Jesus said. Yeah. Even though Jesus said the same words. If you put this temple down, but he was talking about the temple of his body, but people don't know that. People only know he said it. So witnesses came to Jesus and said, you said it. So what would Jesus say? Did I say it or I didn't say it?
He didn't answer.
So what did Jesus say? Jesus said, you said. Did he lie? Did he tell the truth? But he didn't lie. Okay, another example. They came to Jesus because there are some times when it is not advisable for you to speak the truth, especially to your enemies. Or especially to speak the truth to people who want to kill you. You need wisdom sometimes. So, for example, they came to Jesus and told Jesus, you said that you are the king, Lord of the Jews, king of the Jews. You say you are a king. You say you are the king. Did you say that you are a king? He said that you said it. Jesus said he is the king. Jesus said that he is Lord. But he is not saying that in the same way that they are trying to interpret it. So he said, you said it. You understand? For example, many examples like this. For example, there are situations whereby when Pharaoh, Moses went to Pharaoh to let the people go. He said, are you going to run away? He said, he didn't answer that part. He said, we are going, and God told him, tell them that we are going to worship our God in the wilderness. And it's true. There are times when you only need to speak the part of the truth that is necessary to be said now. You don't need to speak the part of the truth that you don't need to talk about now, that will endanger you or will be against you or that people don't need right now. You understand that? So Moses said, we are going to worship our God in the wilderness. And God told him to say that. So is God telling him to tell the truth, to tell lies? No, God is just telling him to speak the truth that is needed now. He doesn't need to speak too much truth that is not needed right now. But that doesn't change the position. What I'm just trying to say is that our greatest commitment must be the truth. But that doesn't mean foolishness. To speak the truth, that doesn't mean go and compromise yourself and everybody else. Speak the truth, that doesn't mean don't use your brain or common sense. You understand what I mean? But still, in your heart of heart, you must know that the greatest commitment, God must know your heart. There must not be confrontation between your heart and God. God knows your heart. You know what is in your heart. You must be able to speak your heart. Your heart must be in peace, in harmony with the Spirit of God. That you must have the freedom that, yes, this is what God is giving you the permission to say right now. So there is a place for wisdom in the truth, but there must not be negotiation. There must not be negotiation with the truth. There must not be denying. You must not deny your allegiance to the truth. The truth must be your absolute basis of action. So let's say you go to that immigration, and they ask you all the questions. You might not answer. God knows how to take you through. Or you could give the answer that they need. But you don't be intentionally aware of telling what is the opposite of the truth, what is not the truth. You must, if you need to speak the truth, you have to speak the truth. You must be more allegiant, more committed to the truth more than everything else. And the truth, even if it seems that the truth, speaking the truth is giving you and putting you into trouble, you will have more peace in your heart by speaking the truth than by lying. Secondly, the Bible says that we cannot do anything against the truth, only for the truth. So, that means that the truth cannot be defeated at the end of the day. So if your son killed that child, remember, we cannot do anything against the truth, only for the truth. So if we cannot do anything against the truth, only for the truth, it means the truth will come out eventually. It means the truth will always win, sooner or later. So since you cannot do anything against the truth, only for the truth, stand for the side of the truth. Speak the truth. Yes, it's like you are going to suffer now for speaking the truth. But because the truth, nobody can do anything against the truth. But only the truth. It means everything, sooner or later, will line up with the truth. The truth will eventually win, and everybody else, maybe not immediately, no, but is it immediately, sooner or later, everybody will have to agree with the truth. So nobody can do anything against the truth, only for the truth. What that means is everybody sooner or later will have to agree with the truth. Even if they don't like it, they will have to agree with the truth. The truth will always win. But another thing that means is, it means also the truth will always vindicate anybody who stands for the truth. The truth will always find a way for you. The truth will always defend you, the people who stand for the truth. The truth will always vindicate the people who stand on the position of the truth. And if you speak the lie, the truth will always come out to testify against you. So if your son killed that child, the truth will come out later on. So, and when the truth comes out after you have lied, the truth is coming to condemn you. The truth is coming to judge you. So better speak the truth, then the truth will stand on your side. The truth will be on your side. The truth will fight for you. The same thing with immigration. Make sure, for example, somebody wrote here now that Abraham told a lie that Sarah was his sister. Was not his, he didn't say, but he didn't say he was not his wife too. He said he was his sister, but that is also truth because they were related. They were relations. So Sarah was his sister, but he only didn't say he didn't reveal the whole truth, the whole thing right there for them. But he told them the part of the truth that was necessary. You get it?
Yeah.
There are some situations where you don't need too much truth to tell the people who will not understand or who will use it against you. So he told the truth that was needed for that particular time. So when the truth came out and God revealed that it is the wife, then he was confronted with that. He said, yes, it's my wife, but it's also my sister. You understand? Yeah. So there are some situations like that. That's the wisdom with the truth. But the topic of today, did I tell you the scripture? The scripture I was reading, the truth, about the truth, that was 2 Corinthians 13:8. We can do nothing against the truth, only for the truth. 2 Corinthians 13:8. Not half the truth. Half the truth is different. Half the truth is diluting the truth. But this one is giving the truth that is necessary for the given situation. So it's different from half the truth. Half the truth is diluting the truth. It's not giving not giving the truth, not giving the lie. That is half the truth. But here is giving the part of the truth that is needed in this particular time. But really, what we are talking about is that truth, my greatest friend. So, and the whole common topic that we are addressing is the topic of the plague of silence. There is no way you will remain silent about the truth. You cannot remain quiet when you know the truth in situations where the truth is supposed to be told. So if the truth is your greatest friend, you will not hide. You will not be hiding and you will not be covering the truth. You will always go for the truth. So to say that the truth is my greatest friend means in every situation, I stand for the truth. So, like I said, Isaac Newton said, Plato is my friend, Aristotle is my friend, but my greatest friend is the truth. Because the truth will always come out either to vindicate or to condemn. The truth will always come out either to vindicate or to condemn. But what we are talking about is that the truth must be absolute for us. And our allegiance for the truth must be total. What really shows who we are is how committed we are to the truth. What really shows Our commitment to God is our commitment to the truth. Because God is the truth. So your commitment to God is not shown by your praise and worship. Your commitment to God is not shown by your singing. Your commitment to God is not shown by your religiosity. For example, in my country, Nigeria, people don't know, or people have not been taught the absolutism of the truth. So people think that their Christianity is measured by the fact that they go to church, one. So people think that their commitment to God is measured by their activities in the church. But it is not. When it gets to the bottom of it, their commitment to God is only measured by how much they are committed to the truth every single second of their life and in every single decision of their life. So, but people in my country think, as long as I'm going to church, or if I even better still, if I bring my tithe and offering. If I bring my tithe and offering every time, regularly, and I don't miss any Sunday. I never miss a Sunday. I always go to, even apart from Sunday, I go to midweek service, I go to prayer meeting, I give the pastor, I'm serving the church. They think that means I'm a Christian. But before God, that doesn't mean you are a Christian. You are just doing religious activities. It is not religious activity that determine your walk with God. Another person, for example, might never go to church, but is committed to the truth. And he is living by the standard of the truth all the time. That person is more a Christian than the person who is going to the church all the time. So, before God, the person who is committed to the truth at all time is more a Christian than the one who goes to church. Because what happens is that whenever we begin to think that our Christianity and our piousness and our devotion to God is measured by what we do in church or by the church activities, what that means is that I will be doing the right thing in the church. I will go to the church and do the right thing. I will go to the church and sing. I will go to the church and give offering. I will go to the church and dance. I will go to the church and jump. I will go to the church and, pray and do all kind of things. But when I go out of the church, I will be saying, it doesn't matter. When I see the truth, I will be compromising the truth because it doesn't matter. That is not in the church. That is out of the church. So it doesn't matter. So that is the deception, whereby we are now thinking that it is my commitment to the church, it is my, what I do, my works, that determines my Christianity. No, what really determines my Christianity is my commitment to the truth. Is the truth my ultimate friend or not? Is the truth my best friend or not? It is to what degree do I commit to the truth every time, in every decision. That is what determines my Christianity. But because people think that I am doing well in the church, but these are just worldly things. No, so in my country, for example, people will go to the church and do the right thing, but at work, they will compromise. They will steal like everybody steals, because this is the worldly place.
This is life.
This is life. Yeah, this is life. They will lie like everybody else lie, because if I don't lie, I will not get the job. If I don't lie, I will not get the papers. If I don't lie, I will not get my stay. If I don't lie, I will not get my passport.
I need to live.
I need to live somewhere. I need to survive somewhere. So, but what happens is that because there is nothing that there is nobody can be against the truth. You cannot be against the truth. The truth you always come to vindicate or convince you. So what will happen is that, let's say you get the paper. You lied at the immigration, okay? You lie at the immigration and got the paper. You know what will happen? Even though you got the British passport or you got the American passport, maybe everything is even going on right the first time. But because even the government didn't know you lied, but the truth knows you lied. The truth knows. So you have compromised against the truth, and the truth knows that you lied. So what will happen is that the truth will not vindicate you. The truth will be coming to condemn you, not in your heart only, not in your consciousness, but you will be having some unexplainable complications in that country. You got the passport, you got the visa, but you will not prosper. You will not prosper like some other people that even remain in the country. Some of the people who remain in their country will prosper more than you. Maybe you prosper materially, but you might lose your children. So you got the paper, everything is okay, but your children who are born in the country now, who have the papers too, because they are born in the country, they might begin to run into troubles. They might become unruly, or they might become a disappointment to you. So it's like, you remember the situation with Ruth and Naomi. So Naomi went out of the will of God, and they stayed. They went to stay in the wrong place, which is not the will of God for them. So with the husband. But even though they got the permission to stay in the foreign land, but it is in that foreign land tragedy happened. So some form of tragedy will be happening because you have gone against the fundamental principle of life. For you to stay in that country, you have gone against the truth. So because you have destroyed, the Bible says that if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? When the foundation is faulty, when the foundation is destroyed, something will always be wrong. So in the first thing that came wrong, because their house of bread was Jerusalem, was Bethlehem. I mean, they shouldn't have left the place. So they left their house of bread. They went against the truth. And it was okay. Physically, economically, it was okay. They were doing well economically. But that, because they had gone against the truth, each time you go against the truth, each time you compromise against the truth, you have to live with that. And that means that you have to live with the consequences. So the truth will always be resurrecting. Because there is nothing you can do against the truth. You can never defeat the truth. You can never do anything against the truth. There is nothing you can do against the truth, only for the truth. It's better for you to always be on the side of the truth, for the truth. Because if you are not on the side of the truth will always be coming to cause you some. The truth will be coming to condemn you. There will be condemnation one way. So in the case of Naomi, the first condemnation that came is that they lost the major member of the family. The husband who took them there. And they went there to survive. They went there to make a living. But instead of making a living, he lost his life. But remember, the reason why he left his land of bread is to save his life. And it was not just to save his life, to save the life of himself and his family. But it was in that place where he thought he would be safe that he died. But in the place where he was, where there was famine, where there was hunger, he didn't die despite famine. He didn't die because he was in the truth. But he didn't die. Because the truth will always come to either vindicate you or to condemn you.
He wanted easy life.
He wanted to escape a difficulty. He wanted to escape economic problem. He wanted to escape hunger. He wanted to escape lack, economic problem. But it was that same life that he wanted to get that he lost after he got to the place where he thought he was supposed to have the life. Because you cannot do anything against the truth. So if you are wise, The only thing you should do all the time is to always be on the side of the truth. Always choose to be on the side of the truth. It's a good place to be. It's a safer place to be. Even if you're going to cost you something, even if it's going to be expensive for you, painful for you in the beginning, and not, it looks difficult for you, but the truth on which side you have decided to stand will always come to vindicate you. But when you decide to stand on the side of against the truth, something will always be wrong. Okay, the first thing that went wrong in that situation was they lost the man who took them there to survive. He didn't survive it. But God still loved them. That didn't show that God didn't like them. God still loved them. So even after the man died, things began to go wrong because they remained there. They didn't get the lesson. After the man died, they were supposed to go back. But they still remain there because they want to survive. So that's what happens with a lot of foreigners who make papers, who do the wrong papers and lie, who get the wrong passport to go to another country and lie. It doesn't matter if you are a Christian or you are a Muslim or you are not a Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. Truth doesn't know religion. No? Truth, God said, I am the truth. If the life, the way, and the life, the way, and the truth. So it doesn't matter. Truth will always work his work. So when they get these papers and these passports, what will happen normally is that either they lose their partner or their husband or one of the people who they came there with, or their children become wayward. They are unruly. So what will happen is that the dream that they were pursuing, they were trying to have there, they don't get to have it. For example, if they go there for economic survival, so that they will live economically well, something will always happen that they will make you losing the money. They will always lose the money.
You have and lose.
You get money and you lose it. You get money and you lose it. Or you get money and then you have to spend it on some other bad things that take it away from you. Or you get the money but you don't get to enjoy it. It is not a good thing to be on the other side of the truth, not to live for the truth. Or for example, okay, I'm looking at Elizabeth now. She's another person I started listening to. I started a long time to listen to her videos. I like her story. Elizabeth Ali, I'm saying. She has, I want to encourage you all to go and listen to Elizabeth Ali's videos. And it tells, she's very open. She tells the story of her life. When a young girl like that, even women like this a young girl, virgin girl, came from Africa, but because she wanted to do she bought into lies of men and boys and things like that. Now she has a good boy, David, good boy, because she compromise the truth. Compromising the truth, you go against the truth. Now she is having a baby, no husband anymore. The truth, when you compromise the truth, you pay a higher price. Now, she enjoyed life with the boys, maybe 1, 2, 3 years, not more. But for many more years now, she's living alone without the man. She lost virginity. She's a single woman. Then she has a baby. She has to live. But why did she compromise herself to live? To lose her virginity and stay with boys and do that, because she wanted to she wanted to be accepted. She doesn't want to be lonely. You tell me if she's not lonely now. She was not lonely for 1 year or 1 month, but she told stories. Even when the man was there, she was still lonely. She was still suffering more when the man was there than before she had the man. Before she had the man, she thought she was suffering. She had problems. But it was when she had the man that the problem started. So when you compromise against the truth,
more suffering.
You don't enjoy whatever you compromise the truth for. The truth, you can never defeat the truth. That's what I'm saying. Anything you do against the truth, you will suffer more than before that you compromise. More suffering will come
So
because you compromise.
It's better go by truth.
Yes.
Even if you're suffering.
Yes.
And this is nothing when you will suffering, well, you will
You
be
compromise
against,
the truth,
yeah,
yes.
of truth.
Because the truth, you can never defeat the truth. Nobody can defeat the truth. Okay, for example, even when powerful men like Hitler, because he's a powerful man, he had the biggest and the greatest economy in Europe. For a short time, Hitler was able to build very big economy. And he thought, because I am the strongest economy in Europe, I can do anything I want with the truth. I can tell lies, I can deceive, I can, the truth doesn't matter. Truth doesn't mean. I have the machine gun, I have the military. Truth doesn't matter. I am the truth. I do what I want with the truth. He destroyed because he went against the truth. The truth defeated him and defeated his memory and defeated his country. Because the country also, his country, Germany, the German people supported the lie. The German people knew that to be killing the Jews and other nations and said only we, German nation, are going to be the only great nation. All of you are not equal. You are not great. That is not the truth. Because the whole country supported lie. Even if the whole country stand on the opposite side of the truth, that doesn't mean that they are going to win. No. Even the whole country. The truth still won against the whole country. And the whole country still paid the price, the big, horrible price of standing with the wrong, against the truth. And this truth, they still had to come back and make them to submit to the truth. So Jesus is the truth. It's the way, the life, and the truth. You see? The same thing with the Soviet Union here, where you live, in the former Soviet Union here. The communists came and they removed the Tsar, the Tsar, the king of Russia. They overthrew and removed and said, we are the truth now. Why? Because we won the revolution. We have the power. We have the army. So the king was just praying, humble. They removed him and put him in prison. He's just praying. Whatever the will of God, let the will of God be done. So they went and killed the king, his whole family, all his children. So they think by killing the king and killing all the people who are supporting the king and so the government, they killed everything. Now we won. No truth. Who will judge us? Nobody will judge us. We won. Nobody here. Even the king is dead. No, he cannot come back. We won. 70 years later, the truth resurrected.
Truth cannot die.
Truth cannot die. Truth cannot be defeated. Truth will always come to either vindicate you or to condemn you or to judge you. So truth came and dismantled communism. Everything they built for 70 years. Truth. Just want to prove. All the machinery for 70 years, the biggest country in the world, everything scattered. The truth came back. And won. So there is nothing we can do against the truth. There is nobody that can defeat the truth. So if you are wise, always side with the truth. The truth must become your best friend. The truth must be what you love more than everything else. So that's why if you are in a church and you see what is wrong in that church, stand by the truth. Because when the truth comes out, is going to dismantle both the church and you yourself who is hiding the truth, who saw the truth and you never sided with the truth. You never spoke the truth. You are going to be one of the victims. You are going to suffer. The truth will come and judge not just the church, but you too. Not just the pastor, but you too, who stood by the lie. So if you know the truth, that all kind of manipulation and lies are happening in the church, and you say, oh, God knows, oh, God knows. Because you kept quiet about the truth. You didn't speak the truth. It's just like Nkiru Ojimadu. I want you all also to try out and go and to the page of Nkiru Ojimadu. She went and did video of her confession. She confessed about hiding the truth in the churches she used to go to. Now, what I'm saying now doesn't mean that go and be telling the truth about other people's lives, and don't go and be revealing people's secret. That is not the truth. That is lie. That is that is against love. That's not what I'm saying. If anything happened between you and it is just you and somebody else, individual, something, don't begin to go and to me to confess or anybody. No. Only if it's something we are talking about larger truth for the society, for everybody, but if it is just your own individual life, tell the truth to God. Don't be going everywhere to confess to people. It's not between you and people, it's between you and God. But I'm talking about principle in life, all right? I'm talking about principle in life. So don't be going to reveal people's secret and things like that. No. That's not the truth that way. Because if something is confidential between you and other people, keep it. But we are talking about public truth. Truth that is, that it could benefit the world and the public and the kingdom of God and other people, the church of God, family and things like that. So, don't be going. Some people are saying, okay, should I go and tell my wife, my husband, all the relationship I had before in my previous life, and be telling him, then you go and tell him, and then he beats nonsense out of you, and then kicks you out of his house because you are not wise. That's not the kind of truth we are talking about. That is no more his own truth, because you are not living with him that time. That's not his. He doesn't need it. That is your own truth, not his own truth. So I did this and did this. He didn't know. Should I let him go and know? If you do that, and he kills you in the process, God will forgive you over there. But that is, we will go and do burial ground. That's all. We will go and do wakekeeping ceremony. We are not talking of that kind of truth that will, that's not wise. We are not talking of that kind of truth. We are talking about saying things in life, follow your conscience, live by the truth. Just be on the side of the truth. But the things that are, that don't need to be revealed or exposed, you don't just go about, saying you love the truth, you are going to speak truth, and then you are destroying everybody's life, everybody's family, and everybody's relationships. That's not the kind of thing we're talking about. If it is something that happened in your own private life, is between you and God, confess to God, tell God the truth. Don't tell God lie. Don't tell yourself lie. Tell God the truth about what happened between you, and God. Confess to him and move forward. If it's between you and somebody else, speak over with the thing with the person, and move on with your life. Don't be going to carry everybody's story, with another person and be telling them and exposing people. That is not love now, because it is in this case the Bible says that love covers multitude of sin. So in this case is where that applies, when you need to cover people's weaknesses. If somebody is struggling with something and he confesses to you, or he doesn't confess, or you know about it, if he's struggling with it and he's fighting it and he's doing his best, he's trying, and he's trying, he's doing his best, don't go and say, oh, I'm going to to tell people the secret, other people's secret. That is not love. That is now you are violating another law of God. Somebody is asking, what of confessing to the pastor your sin? You don't have any business confessing your sin to the pastor if you can deal with it between you and God. The only reason why you want to confess to the pastor is if you have confessed to God and it's not going, and you are not feeling relieved, and you are feeling bad about it still, and you are not feeling, it must be a strong reason why you should go to pastor or friend or anybody to confess. It is between you and God. This work, our work, is between you and God. You only want to confess to another person if you really feel you cannot get out of it, or if that sin is affecting other people and is, having consequences on the larger people that the pastor could help or pastor needs to know, then you might need to do that. So that is what I want us to look at today. It's a very deep word. It's a very, very deep word. The topic, hardcore, but the topic of today is truth, my greatest friend. So let us be more committed to the truth than anything else. Jesus is the truth, the way and the life. So he is the truth. And that is the only thing that should be the basis for our own relationship. And that's one thing with Mayowa here. That's one thing she has. She's a truth lover. She's very committed to the truth, and thank God for her for that. And maybe you will be the one to come and talk. And she's committed with the truth with herself too. Or you want to talk first? Because you are here now. You sit down. You sit down.
Thank you, Pastor, for today's word. It's really a very important subject about truth. And I was thinking today when you was sharing with us this truth about truth, that only when we live by truth, and truth is our best friend, we can be free, really. So we in the Christianity we are talking a lot about freedom in Christ, but only when we live by truth we can be really free people, and only when we live by truth we can be Christians. We can have this name even, because we can go to the church and be church guys, good church guys, but not really followers of Christ. So, and as I said, when sometimes, in our life, I'm talking about my life, when we go through some different situation, and we have fight inside of us, truth or my own opinion or my desire, yeah. And if today we are honest with ourselves, really we can see that in our Christian life,
every day fight.
Every day we fight inside of us, because we live in this life, in this world, and we every day need to have choices, and we take decisions, and only if truth is our friend, best friend, we always and quickly, as Pastor said, we will take decision and we will be by side of truth side. So, and it's true that if we really said that Jesus our Lord, it cannot be if we will not, we are not ready to live this life by truth. And only if we say truth is my best friend. I like this phrase today, truth is my best friend. Really, if truth is my best friend, I will live in freedom and I will be more happy in my Christian life even. So I have to, today, let's take decisions, not just hearing, but take decisions. Will be truth my best friend or not? Just decide and let's live with our decision. And thank you, Pastor. This was very, very clear message today. Mm-hmm. Very concrete message. Very strong message that set us more free today. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is ID. Wow, this is real hardcore message. You cannot get it anywhere. Doctor, I really want to appreciate you for this hardcore. It's really hardcore message. It's not for this is not milk. It is not bread and butter. This is strong bone for the sons of God, not for the children of God, for the sons of God. Doctor, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity to share my thoughts on this. First of all, I see that the truth is God. That was why Jesus said that I am the way, the truth, and the life. So, truth is God. And that is why we cannot do anything against the truth. The truth will always stand. We cannot fight against the truth. No matter your religion, you cannot fight against the truth. No matter your color, you cannot fight against the truth. No matter the organization that you are in, you cannot fight against the truth. So the truth must be revealed every time. And the second thing I noted is that the truth is two-edged sword. It's a two-edged sword. It will come back to vindicate you, or it will come back to mar you for your destruction. In the Bible, the truth vindicated Joseph while he was in the prison. The truth came back and vindicated him and elevated him. And also in the case of Daniel, the truth also came back and vindicated him and elevated him. And also in the case of Esther and Mordecai, the truth came back and elevated them. And the last thing I want to note, I was privileged to listen to the conversation of Dr. Sunday Adelaja. What he was saying that he is not interested in preaching, that he is not interested in teaching, that what he's interested in is in revealing God. That every day of his life is about revealing God. That's why if you go to the book of John chapter 1 verse 8, the Bible says that no man hath seen God, but the only begotten Son that hath seen God, he has revealed him in the flesh. So every time we stand in the path of truth, we are revealing God in the flesh. Anytime we speak out the truth, we are revealing God in the flesh. Anytime we speak the truth, no matter the circumstances, we are revealing God in the flesh. Anytime we stand and align ourselves with the truth, we are revealing God in the flesh. That is why the truth is in you. You know the truth in your conviction. Every one of us, we know the truth. Sometimes we may want to suppress it, but we cannot suppress it. It is imprint in us. That is God in us. So if we say it out, if we align our action with the truth, we reveal God in the flesh. Anytime we speak the truth, we reveal God in the flesh. That is how the Bible says that the sons of God may reveal God in the flesh. So me and you, our purpose is to reveal God in the flesh. Let us make the truth our greatest friend. Despite anything we go through, no matter any circumstances, let's make the truth our greatest friend. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doctor.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Yes, the truth is my best friend, is my friend. I think mostly because, first of all, I don't have a good memory to tell a lie, because if I don't tell the truth, then I won't remember, and then I would say something else. So that's a basic reason to tell the truth. But for me, I think one of the Bible verses that I take very seriously is that you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. If I don't remember anything, that is been embedded in me as a child, that, you know, when you tell the truth, it will set you free, it will vindicate you all the time. Saying that, I have been conditioned a few times based on the environment or, you know, who I am with, that I don't always tell the whole truth, but I make the truth my own ethos so that I can be set free. And also, I believe strongly that if I truly believe in God and I trust God, then there is no need for me to lie. So that's
What
one.
are those examples, though? Somebody killing another person, then visa, documents,
Yes.
papers.
Yes.
You are from England. Those things are real over there.
I know. And, you know, the examples that Dr. Sunday told in terms of the killing is quite strong because personally, I don't have a child yet, but I believe that if my child did something like that, I would immediately go to the police and report it. Reason because I know the consequences of the trauma for that child. The child will never be the same if you don't pay the price for what you've done wrong. So it's like if my child did that, then I don't have my child anymore because the line has been crossed. So either way, if I don't take the child to the police to go in for the consequences publicly, the consequences privately, for me, I know that the consequences will be greater. Because, you know, the child the trauma for the child will be too much, and the guilt that the person have to live with, the guilt I have to live with, and also I wouldn't want that to happen to me. I would think every time I'm walking anywhere, that the truth is going to catch up on me. So I will always watch my back. So when Dr. Sunday was telling that examples, I've actually experienced it, and I've had somebody really close to me, very close to me, that was not able to do that. I know that parents go through those challenges.
You want to tell the story?
Well, I'll tell the story then. Okay, the story was I have a friend, it's my friend, very close friend, that this happens to exactly this. And she couldn't bring herself to taking the child.
Exactly this.
Okay, what happened was the child killed another person, another child that bullies him. And the child is actually my own godson. So he killed somebody that is really, is a friend, is a bully to him.
In the school?
In the school, yes. It was under 16. So he killed the boy in a party. The boys always threatened him and showed him the knife, but he didn't tell any of us. He didn't tell me, his parents. And he just came home and he just said he killed someone. And we all were just panicking. We didn't know what to do. So the mother, and the rest of the family, they were trying to send him. Yes, this was in London. So they were trying to send him away to, you know, leave the country. Yes, to leave the country and live somewhere else. And I was just like, no, I don't think that's a good idea to do that. But nobody could even look at me in the face. They were just so angry at me for that suggestion that, you know, to think that, let him go to jail because he's going to go to jail. So I just said that, I think that you should let him, because of his mindset, because of his mind, if you send him away, he can never live with himself. If somebody deals with the situation and get the consequences for that situation, that's where they learn, that's where they'll be able to develop. He's still young, he's got his whole life ahead of him. And his mom was just crying and saying, I don't understand. How could you tell me to send my child to jail? How could you do this? And I was holding her, crying with her. But my own thing is that he has to live with stay here and live with that consequences of what's happened. And, eventually they couldn't get the passport and everything ready. And the police, these children, they've got a friend, one or two people would have known. I don't know who told the police. But the police came, they came and searched the house, to look for the weapon. The weapon wasn't in the house, but they arrested him. And they took him to detention center, and I called Dr. Sunday because I didn't really know what to do, and I felt like my friend felt like I was I was betraying her. I wasn't loyal. I wasn't because I wasn't a mother. I don't understand as well. But I really truly understand, and I feel this child, for me, every child can be my child. It doesn't have to be a child that comes out of my womb. So for me, I love him just as much as I would love, I think, because I don't have a child yet, but I think just as much as I would love my child. But I can see ahead that this is going to be a problem. So so she wasn't talking to me. She was very cold towards me. But the police arrested him, and they took him to detention because he was underage. He wasn't in prison. And we had to go through court and everything. And you know what? He only, after explaining everything that's happened, the guy, less than a year, was out of jail. Because he had good character. He was a very gentle guy. Normally, I don't know what happened. I haven't seen him for about 6 months before the time, because, you don't see teenagers. They go about their own business. But the person that I know was very level-headed guy. So even to be told that he killed somebody, that was a shock to me, myself. But what I'm just grateful for that, we went through all the courts. Yeah, the truth vindicated him. He's out now. He's not living, normally, because this is really challenging for a very young child. And he's still, I just think he just turned 16. It's not living normally, but at least, this whole thing is out, and he's not living in the same, he's not hiding, and, he's trying to rebuild his life. He's still got a whole life ahead of him. His mother was saying that he's glad, she's just glad that it's not his son, because, it could have been his son. And, I felt that way as well, that it wasn't him that was killed. But at the same time, I wanted the truth. I think that it was important for the truth. And everything that Dr. Sunday was saying in terms of there's consequences for everything. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I would tell the truth, is because I know that there's consequences for everything. If I don't come to that consequences now, I will come to it later. So I'd rather take all my beating now than to be living with it. It's like a situation where you've done something wrong, and you know that your parents are saying to you that you wait. Sometimes you just want to say, get this over with. Just beat me right now. I don't want to wait till next week. I don't want to wait till later. Just do it now, because you just live in fear all the time. So one main reason for me is that if God really exists, then I must not lie. If God really lives, I must not lie. If I truly respect God and I respect myself, I must not lie. And then secondly, I want to live free. That verse in John that says, the truth will set you free. I believe it. Just like Dr. Sunday believed the verse that his sister told him about, you can be the head. My own verse that I believe is the truth, that if the truth will set you free. And I really, really want to be free, because I know one thing, that it doesn't matter if you're out there, outside, if your mind is not free, your conscience is not free, you're not free. So it's not just those in prison that are locked up. You can be locked up in your mind. So I think I was very self-aware of that. And because I don't want to be locked up in my mind, then I will tell the truth. So it is encouraging now to actually hear it, because I don't have it so structured or very pragmatic in the way that Dr. Sunday just explained it. I just know that, first of all, I want to be free, and I want to grow. I want to grow well. I don't want to stunt my growth. So if I'm not allowing people to tell me the truth, or I'm not being truthful to myself, then I'm lying. I'm lying to myself. And if I'm lying to myself, then, how can I live with myself? I can't live with that, living with lies with myself. And I don't want to stunt my growth, because I know.
What about people with immigration? They're full of
Yes, I mean, this even
happens all over England.
Yes.
With the immigration situation, some people come with false passports. Some people work with other people. Do you get the illustration I was trying to say about the consequences?
Yes,
yes. In those some cases.
Yes, I think Dr. Sunday is definitely right in terms of the consequences and what happens with the immigration issues, and people lying about immigration and lying. They lie to the extent where you have a family, like men have a family, and then they marry somebody else, or even they live with their wives and then they'll marry somebody else. and live as husband and wife. Live as husband and wife just to get the papers. You know, I know people would say that you're not in this situation.
The wife will know?
Yeah, the wife will know. Some the wife will know. Some they will end up being second wives because, you know, if a woman is doing something like that for you, they might just, you know, you get attracted to each other and then you end up being together and being a second wife. Yeah, I've even heard of situation where they're saying, right, for it to go on, you think I'm doing it for free, then you have to marry me, and the person is so desperate and they just want to get the papers, and then they marry the person even though they don't really love the person. And all these things are consequences. And, you know, this particular cases where with the immigration, the consequences are high. It's not just the consequences for the individual, it's also consequences for the society, for the nation, for life in itself. Because anything that we do in life, we would reap. You know, it's like what you sow, you will reap. So there's no way that we can survive the consequences in a positive way. It has to be negative. So they're suffering right now. There's breakup of home. They mistrust because of issues of lying just to get what you want in your own mind. And I think this is where, you know, as Christians, we should really hold on to where it says that, you know, not just this truth will set you free. It skipped my mind now. About not trusting on the Lord, you know, trusting on the Lord with everything. You know, this is where it applies, not in you going to work on you developing yourself or developing your mind. This is where it applies, where you have to tell the truth and trust on the Lord, that even if it's a dire consequences, like a case of a job, that God will set you free.
Immigration, you might be sent back.
Yeah, and even if you're sent back, the whole world is God's. You know, even if you're sent back to Africa, you'll probably be better off in Africa. The people that are doing much better in Africa than they are doing in the West. So, and that's where the land is. That's where the tilled land is. You just have to truly trust in God, and don't think because there's 24 hours light in the West and there's no light in Africa that you will not do well. You know, you might be the person to develop that. But we always turn to God's ideas and God's ideals for us, because we use our own free will to destroy the plans that God has got for us. So I absolutely agree. And, you know, with women as well, you know, we tell lies to get a guy, to go into a relationship. I'm saying that even though I'm a woman as well. And, you know, I do apologize to any woman out there that feels like, you know, this is kind of off topic, but it's not, because women lies a lot when they want a guy. They pretend that, you know, they will put up with things that they're not going to put up with. And at the end of the day, you end up having children, building a family together, and the relationship would end up breaking up in 10 years, in 5 years, you know, even in 2 years. Because you're lying, you're pretending that you can put up with whatever you cannot put up with. Men do it as well. You know, they will pretend that, you know, they're happy with this woman in this way. And they will stop her from doing certain things when they get married. But they realize that when they get married, the person is, no, this is not the plans. This is not what we plan to do. And everything end up going the wrong way, you know, to the past that you could have avoided the pain in the first place. You could have cried a little in the beginning, and then you end up crying with consequences. So for me, I think women especially, you know, stop lying to say, you know, I can put up with certain things in relationship, or, you know, if this guy is a certain way, I can take it. But you end up going into the relationship and you can't take it. I even know of people that lie that they're pregnant when they're not pregnant, so that they could, you know, stay with the guy because the guy is really interested in them, or they try to get pregnant. This is still part of lies. Get pregnant so that you can stay with the guy, or, you know, there's so many examples that it can be told about lying. You know, it's not worth it. It's too much of a price to pay for your life, for what God has got for you, for plans of God for you, for just what you can have now, for the little that you can have now is too much of a price. You have to see yourself worthy, not to tell a lie. You have to see that God, if you truly believe in God, that God have greater plans for you. So you have to let go of what you think it is now, that is great now, for the greater that is to come. And you have to believe that the greater is to come. So there's no need for manipulation, there's no need for bending it. Any ill-gotten gain is never satisfactory. It never lasts. And
And what about people who are staying? Have you had experience of people with the immigration situation?
yes, it's with the immigration situation, there's been so much lies. I mean, even lies, the lies is just too much. And I think
Have you ever seen any consequences?
yes, I have seen consequences of immigration, especially in America. Consequences of immigration that I've seen. I somebody that's been in US for over 20 years now, because they lied about the person. They went and married an American guy, and the American guy now, we can't find him. We don't know where he is. So even though their family, their real husband has got the papers now, and the children are American citizen, this person is stuck on this application that they did over 20 years ago. Also, I know many people that came with different people's passports to a country, and for some reason they start doing fingerprints. Well, not for some reason, it's just for development. They've got new ways of technology, so they start doing fingerprints. So the one person, if the actual person that has the passport was not the person that they did the fingerprints on. So a couple of people are using, not even two, they're more than two, several people are using the same passport to go in and out. And when the last person came, they did the fingerprints. So that person is the person that the fingerprints is on the passport with the immigration. So the rest of the people are stuck. They're stuck in the countries that they are in. They don't have papers. They have to start all over again. They're not the right people. And I actually have a family member that this happens to as well, where it was easy to do fraudulent passport in the past. So they traveled with a fraudulent passport to US and did their fingerprints. Again, this is a fingerprint using it. They've got their own passport on their own real name. Stay, but they cannot go to US because the fraudulent passport has got different dates of birth. Wow. So they can never go to the US because they can't renew.
It is in the computer.
Yeah, it's on the computer. They can never. The fraudulent passport is expired now. 10 years when it was going up and down, enjoying traveling, even though it was illegal, but it was using a different passport. It's now done. They cannot renew that passport. So the passport that they have, that now that they've got legally in UK, is not. They can never go to US. Simple as that.
Wow.
For the rest of this person's life, he can never go to US. Yes. So they're stuck. And this is somebody that's really, really close to me. So there's consequences for everything. I mean, we can go on and on with examples of this type of things, not just immigration, a relationship. Where can we even start with relationship? Certificates, education certificates. Those are people that did that got fraudulent certificates for their education, so that they can go into politics. And when it comes to them performing, they're not performing well, and people out them. Jobs. There's so many things. It's not even worth living the life. Day by day, you're living a life. How can you sleep well at night? It's so difficult to sleep in this kind of situation. It's really not worth it. It's better to just.
What about others using other people's passport to work?
Yes, using other people's passport to work as well. I think it's part of a lack of trust in God. You have to really trust God that this has real great consequences, because people that have done that put money, that consequences is even straightforward, straight away. That they have put money in people's bank account because they don't have an account. Those people just take the money, just spend the money, give them whatever they want to give them. Heidi is laughing. Give them whatever they want to give them, or threaten them. You're living in lies and false. And we all think that we have to do this when we go to a foreign land. That we have to do this. We don't have to do it. We just have to trust God and do our best in honesty.
We have to do what?
That they have to tell some lies. They have to tell some white lies as long as. I think everybody. Not originally. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I spent most of my life in London and I grew up there. And everybody would say, "Oh, you have to do this at this time because if you don't have paper, you just have to jamo, add this and that just to survive." But it's like we're just setting traps for ourselves, and we're delaying our own progress.
Are these people church members?
Of course, they're church members.
They pay tithes.
Yes, they're church members. Even the pastor would you can do this for now, just for the meantime. God sees our art. You know, God says that we're not trying to harm anybody, but it's still a lie. A lie is a lie, and there's consequences.
The pastor doesn't know the power of the truth too.
No, the pastor, of course, if the pastor is, if they're ripping everybody off, they know that they know the power of the truth, but they fail to apply it. They think that when the consequences come, they can ask God for forgiveness. Forgiveness is actually different from consequences. You will meet the consequences.
Nevertheless.
Yes, regardless. So
even if God forgives you.
Yeah, God will forgive, but the consequences has to be there. You know, you can't. It remains. You know, these are two separate things. You can't say that I would do something and ask God for forgiveness and everything will be all right. The damage will be done and the consequences remains. God will truly forgive you and love you in your pain, in your suffering. He will be hugging you, be there for you. He's not going to go anywhere, but you will live by that consequences.
Suffer the pain?
Yes, you will. You will suffer the pain. You know, we suffer. Let's not even talk about just telling the truth, even not doing the right thing. You know, even, for example, if you go to school, I live by these consequences. So I'm telling you my story right now. If you go to school, you don't pay a lot of attention. You're doing other things. You're never here and now. You know,
I know that.
you just.
I'm suffering that.
There's a Sunday is suffering that. It's
I'm
not even
suffering
funny. But I suffer it more, right? Don't pay enough attention.
Yeah,
you don't do
because I always remind you.
Yes, I suffer it, but okay. Dr. Sunday is saying that he's suffering my own truth, not being truthful now in school, where you know you go to classes, you just do the bare minimum. That's part of lying because you're lying to yourself. You went to school to get education and to get the best of the education, but you do the bare minimum. That's lying as well. Lying is not just speaking lie or not telling the truth. It's also not doing the truth. So you know that, okay, school, I'm supposed to be doing this. Everybody else is studying, paying attention. I'll just do the bare minimum just to pass. And those things are affecting me now because even at work, when I was working, I find a job and I give them my terms and I let them sign it. So I do what I want. And yet it's affecting me because here I have to do the right thing. I know that I have to. So I might not be lying and telling people the lies, but I have my own bits as well, which is affecting me because this is a lie. It's like living a lie. You go to school, you're not doing the right thing. You did the bare minimum just to pass. You will live the consequences. When you need to do certain things, when you need to apply certain principles, you need to apply certain things, you will not be able to apply them. But if you have paid attention in school, if I had paid attention in school, in college, in university, and do the right thing, then I wouldn't be living the life where I'm struggling. All those things that I should have learned in the past, I was busy going out, chilling with my friends. I enjoy chilling, you know, that's my own thing. Chilling, let's buy this, let's sit down and enjoy ourselves, and then if we're somewhere to go, we call each other.
I'm reminding you every day.
Yeah.
Of what you cannot write well, what you cannot
yes. Do. And you know, even it is lie if you know that you're struggling with something, you have a challenge and you don't work on that challenge. That's also not being truthful. You know, if you know that you have, my example is that I have issues with grammar. I will write something. It might be a great writing of the idea, the concept in the writing is good, but the grammar are wrong. But I knew this and I didn't work at it. I didn't do anything. That's a lie. That's me lying to myself. You know, saying, okay, I'll just get by. Why didn't I work at it? I know that I want to write something. I have content in me, and I know that those content are not structured properly. And I don't do anything about it. Again, this is the type of lie. So the different types of lies, we just have to be truthful to ourselves from the core of our being, you know, and tell ourselves. And when people, this is why I get angry, because I knew, even when I was doing those things, I knew that it was wrong, but I was too lazy, or I don't care, or there's no, the consequences is not there right there. So I thought I'll get by, you know, I'll do something else. And this is the reason why you chop from one thing to the other. You go to the easier thing. When you reach a stumbling block in something, you go to another thing. This is me I'm talking about. If it doesn't apply to anybody, you go to something else because you're not willing to face the truth of where you are, to apply all the truth and do your best. So you go to another thing, you reach another stumbling block there, then you go to something else. This is part of living lies and not allowing the truth to be your best friend. Because if the truth is your best friend, you're doing something and you're doing it wrong, then you know. And this is why I'm getting angry when people are saying that when pastor was teaching about prostitution of tithes and offering, and people are saying that the pastors don't know. It's not true. Even a baby, when you tell a baby off and you say to a baby that don't do this, and the baby will stop doing it, and then you turn away, and then the baby will start looking at you that, okay, I want to do what she said I shouldn't do, but I don't want her to see me doing it. You've seen babies do that. So how can they not know? Then that itself is a lie to say that the pastors don't know, that's why they're doing it. They know. It is clear, because if I don't even read the Bible as much as they do, they can quote the Bible. Then the Holy Spirit would have told them somewhere, one way or the other. But they choose to ignore it because the consequences is not there. Right now, it's not there. The consequences is later. And they would all meet the consequences. And I think this is the consequences. This is the time for the consequences. This is the revolution for the consequences. So that's why it is important that we all tell the truth and join the movement against deception in the church. This is the time of the truth. This is the time of consequences. And I think we should all, anybody that loves the truth, that want the truth to be their core, they need to consider joining. I don't want to command you to join because I can be autocratic. So I want to tell you that consider joining for this truth. Let us all practice the truth together. Let's help each other to be truthful. When we start together, it will be easier than you having to do it alone. And if we start from the church, our conscience would also tell us in our day-to-day life, in our own personal life, that there's certain things that we're lying about, we should apply that as well. But if you become active in a group like this, where we all want to work for the same common good, we will find that in our own personal lives as well, that truth will work for us. So to join the movement against deception in the church, which is the same title, Movement Against Deception in the Church, there's a Facebook page, like that page. There's also a group, it's a closed group, so you need to ask for permission to come in. So just request that you want to join the group. We would allow you to join the group. And thirdly, and most importantly, you need to fill in the form. The form I've pinned onto this comments section. Fill the form so that we can have your contact details. Next Saturday, 1st of July, we're having the second committee meeting, which everyone is invited, not just committee members. 2 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 12 noon UK time. We're having another meeting. The last meeting was the duration of 4 hours. So you can imagine the wealth of information, details about deception that other people shared with us. So this is the time for you to come as well. The next one, again, I'll repeat, is the 1st of July, which is the Saturday after tomorrow, Saturday, and it's 2 p.m. Ukraine time, 12 noon UK time. Join us. We'll send you the details to join only if we have your form and we have your email. We have your full detail, your email. So complete the form as soon as you can. If you're having any problems or challenges with completing the form, let me know. You can send me a Facebook message and I'll find a way to send the form to you if I have to individually. But it's very easy. It's a 2-minute form. It's not anything that is huge. Just we need your contact details so that we can send you information. Thank you for your time. Tell me, I'll ping the form again. I did earlier, but I'll do it again.
Okay, here we are. So, well, this is a serious truth, a serious message today. Let us make the truth our best friend. Let us make the truth our best friend. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 times a day, both 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. UK time, and 12 noon and 2 p.m. American time, Eastern time in America. So I hope you've heard this message. I hope you will fall in love with the truth And this truth will set all of us free. And thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful evening. Blessings. Bye.